Well, hello, Bob Dendry here, and welcome back to Transport Fever 2. So, last week we completed our passenger line, I guess, on this side of the sort of river that we're sitting on, and we also did a lot of upgrading to get rid of the remainder of, the steam that we have in our network. Now, there's a couple of things that we'll need to fix up this week. So I mentioned last week that we didn't have any modern British sort of log wagons or anything like that, which was a bit of a struggle. I have found some on the workshop, so we now have some British OTA wagons, which will cover our requirements quite nicely. So we will be, throughout the episode, looking to upgrade some of our existing trains with those new wagons. That'll increase our speed limits and just make things all around a lot smoother and easier on the network. But most of what we're going to be doing now is really fine-tuning our network, hopefully sort of integrating some of our remaining sort of logistics chains that we aren't currently utilizing. So it will be involving the Keyleigh goods factory quite a bit, but we'll also look to potentially implement some food as well. So let's get started. Alrighty, so first things first, let's have a look at our goods factory, and we can see that our big sort of limitation here is the amount of plastic we're getting in. So if we go over here to our plastic plant, so probably what we need to actually be doing is getting more oil in. That appears to be a limitation over there. So we're not really getting a lot of oil in, which is meaning we're not producing much plastic either. So let's have a look at our oil train here. What are we running with? So we're running with some of our older oil wagons. So it would probably make sense for us to try and bump this up as high as we can really get it with the really limited space we have. So if we go to edit, let's have a look. So we've currently got a capacity of 108. And if we get rid of these vehicles and put on some of our massive big oil wagons, what are we going to be having? So we can bump it up, way towards sort of 200, even up towards 240. I'm going to do that. It's going to make it a lot more expensive to run, but overall I think that will allow us to get more oil, therefore more plastic, and that should really allow us to maximize the sort of production we're getting over here at the goods factory. We could also look to potentially integrate this oil refinery into our logistics chain, possibly using some road vehicles rather than trains as well. That could also help us bump up that production. Okay, so I forgot that you needed to actually enable the mods before you can use them, so I've fixed that. And we will start to get these upgraded now. So we're going to get rid of these old, slow, flat cars, or log cars, which I guess are sort of flat car, they're probably more of a state car actually. And let's have a look and see if we can find our new log wagons that I've just downloaded. Here we go, OTA timber wagons. They're actually crap. They're worse than the ones we had before, god damn it! They may allow longer trains, or not longer trains, but more densely packed trains. Yeah, that's pretty good. We'll get that one upgraded. So we can go up to 285 now. What was our existing one, or our previous one? $180. So we could almost actually sort of replace the 2 with 1 really, if we can boost the capacity just a little bit more. I do think it is time for us to start utilizing this oil refinery. I think we've just got the one oil well nearby. We're utilizing all the other ones in the area. Oh, I've got another one over here, actually. So I'm just considering what options we have there. We could potentially run this one as a train. I think these days that one is probably a bit close. Let's have a look and see how this guy goes. What's his profitability like? Actually makes a decent amount of profit, so we could still run it as a train. But I'm just wondering, is the price of the price of admission, I guess, to get this set up, is it going to be too high to justify the sort of profit we'd be turning off this one? I think definitely from the oil refinery to the chemical plant needs to be a road vehicle for sure. I've just got a little error come up. So I'm wondering what's happened. What is the issue? Are they facing each other or something like that? Or do we not have a big enough passing loop? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, they're blocking each other. Nice. Good job, team. Yeah, so we definitely need a longer platform here anyway, don't we? So what we might do, just upset absolutely everyone and increase the length of these platforms here. Okay, so I think that should be a little bit better now. That little hump in the road is not ideal. I think we'll just choose to ignore that though. Anyway, back to our new oil chain we're doing here. So we'll get a couple of new lines set up. Perfect. And we'll get some vehicles purchased to run on it. We might try running 6, though we don't have the money for it quite yet, and have 3 running on each. Actually, yeah, I think. No, so we'll need... Yeah, so we'll have 4 crude oil and 2 oil, and see how we go with having that as our initial sort of a setup. Alrighty, we'll get 4 of those. 7, and the remaining 2 on line 8. And we'll just let that run for a while and see if we get much luck there. Yeah, we've got more of these sort of blockages happening with our longer trains, so I think it's time to spend some time upgrading this to fully 2-tracked. That will also increase the throughput as well. So, luckily we've already done some of the work here. I will chuck this on pause though. And we may as well look to high speed and also electrify this, I think. Oh, actually, we've got a little bit of a kink here, don't we? Might have to go back a little bit further. In fact, there's a little bit of kink in this track as well. It doesn't connect straight through. That could be part of the problem. It just doesn't want to connect up, does it? At all. It doesn't want to snap. Interesting. So it'll snap to the other side. It won't snap to the track. Oh, there we go. Fixed. Yeah, so we're just coming in at a slightly incorrect angle there. Okay, perfect. So we'll get this signaled up and we should be good to go now. Why do you have no path? You should be fine. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Perfect. Fixed. Let's have a look and see how this little operation is going here. Yeah, I think overall this is starting off pretty well. It's a fairly small sort of throughput, but I think it's going to help just a little bit with keeping the plastics flowing over here in the Warrington chemical plant. And I think we're going to increase the throughput even more by running with or just running an extra crude oil train over here. So this we can do as a train. This one will be fairly separated. I don't see any point with really doubling it up with any other line. So what we'll probably do is we'll sort of swing it around, have it run parallel to our high-speed tracks, and just cross under or over our existing rail line here, and pretty much come in exactly where our truck station is. I think that'll be pretty good. Bit of a windy one. That's interesting. I'll just make this connection here so they can share a depot as well. So let's get a quick line set up. And this one should be a fairly simple one. Alright, I think that added capacity will also allow us to lengthen our plastic train by a fair bit. So let's have a look and see what we can do. So we've got these new goods wagons, which are probably going to be what we'll be looking at. And let's see how far we can get it up. We can get it up towards, well, above 200. And I think that's probably going to be what we do. Can we potentially remove these old ones as well? That'll allow us to get it through that a little bit quicker. See if we have the money to do that. Yeah, we can do it. So we'll modify that one. And that'll allow it, yeah, just to be a little bit quicker throughput, which should hopefully allow us to, you know, keep the goods factory stocked with plastic, which is really our main, you know, shortcoming at the moment. So our crude oil train is already full. And that means we're definitely going to need to increase the number of our oil trains going through to our plastic or our chemical plant. So I reckon we probably want to at least double it. So, in fact, we'll get another 3 on there. And we'll just see how that functions. Yeah, so they actually only carry 150 plastic, and as you can see, we've got a glut of supply now, so we could potentially even maybe look to boost this to a second train. But we would need to somehow fit an additional platform in. We might need to shift our main line if we want to do that, because we don't want to have 2 plastic trains blocking up our oil train from entering. In fact, what we could do here, if we just quickly pause this... What we could do is... Oh, fuck it now. Once some funds come in. That's awkward. Yeah, there we go. Cool. What we could potentially do here, if we... remove these... we could get another... In fact, we could actually get a couple of tracks in, and could just shift our sort of industrial building further over. Ooh, just. Okay. That could be a problem. I think it'll be okay, but we're going to have to keep an eye on that. We just won't be using it for the moment anyway. But we can get some... There we go. Get that all reconnected up. Heights are very different. And we should be able to get this connected back up, hopefully. Build anyway. I don't think the slope's actually that bad. So that should cover us off. And should allow us to get a second train on to cover it up. Alright, so let's get this line fixed up to utilize our new platforms. I think we will only go... Let's have a look. 2 and 3 at the moment. 4 is just sort of... Or actually 1 is going to be just a complete backup in case everything falls over and we need to quickly boost capacity. Because we are going to be limited by the shorter platform length there, but that is okay. And then I think we should be able to afford to duplicate our train. Cool. There we go. Lovely. Alright, so I think it's now a good time to start getting goods shipped off to more towns. I think Newton Aycliffe is probably a good example of where we could start to get some goods flowing through. It's fairly close. It's also hooked up via high-speed track, so we can run a nice high-speed electric train on that as well. And we could also look to get some public transport here in Newton as well. We don't have a lot of passengers, and that's because our station is actually a fair bit away from the bulk of our residents. So we can boost the the number of passengers wanting to travel, and therefore the profitability of our Intercity 225 if we look to get some public transport flowing here. First of all, let's have a look and see where is our goods demand, and it's everywhere really, but let's see if we can get some nice coverage here. So I'm wondering if we could punch through an end platform. And what will that cover? That covers a lot, but not 100%. So probably over here is going to be a good starting point. So we'll do that. We do need overheads. And from here we're just going to, just punch the tracks straight through onto the main line. Nice and easy. We might actually take this a little bit further along. Just so we can sort of get this as a high-speed junction as we can. Because that will be important to keeping the whole, railway flowing smoothly. So it looks like 125 or so is probably the best we're going to get right now. So that is what we will do. We might see if we can push back this signal a little bit. Okay. Pretty happy with that one. Now we will get our signal in. And we'll get a signal for the branch as well. Perfect. So let's get planning for what sort of train we want to run on here. We also need to connect up the goods factory to the line as well. That's probably an important one. let's have a look and see what we've got available in the electric space. They got these new Class 92s. They're not that fast. We also got the... yes, okay. I think this is what we're going to go for. Rail freight distribution, fast, good power, reasonably expensive as well. So we'll get one of these, and then we will run on some goods wagon. Sorry, probably the same as. Oh, actually, we could run some of these as well. Let's have a look. Those are pretty high speed, aren't they? Yeah, we might go with these ones. Or could go the containers. They cost about the same. We might go the IWBs, I think. No, actually, no. We're going to go the FAAs because they're newer. Yeah, they're very expensive as well. So we'll go with a full length 240 meter train and we'll just see, I guess, how it works. Alright, so let's get that purchased. Set up a new line. And we're going to go from Keyleigh East to Newton A Cliff. Unable to find path to stop, hey? Alright, now we've got that one flowing, it's time for some public transport for Newton A Cliff. So, I think... I do like trams, so I think we'll run with trams. I know they're less, you know... useful, I guess, than buses. But... having a... I guess dedicated traffic or dedicated tracks is also good in itself as well. So can we just get this right there? We can. That will allow transfers as well. Too much slope. Fixed. Perfect. Needs to be trams as well though. Okay. And how are we going to run this? Let's have a look and see where our passengers live. It's actually quite a fairly sort of a broad passenger base, I guess. So I think what we'll do, we'll come out, we'll go down this way, do a little bit of a loop. We'll probably go through the industrial area just to cover for future passenger growth. And then we will come back and drop off at the station. I think that's a nice easy one. We'll get a tram depot over in our industrial area as well, I think, just to keep it out of the way. Perfect, get a nice new line set up. We also need a place. If I remember correctly, even though the arrows are facing the wrong way, it does still drive on left. That would be a bit embarrassing if it didn't. Cool. I've been forgetting to name my lions, which is terrible. Okay, so what trams do we have to work with? These ones look quite nice. We might buy... Maybe we'll start off with 3 of these. And we'll get them on our line. Perfect. So hopefully that will now start to get more passengers to our station at Newton Aycliffe, and hopefully we'll also encourage some more growth. We do have a new residential building right here, which is good to see. Alrighty, and I think we have time to get one more goods connection set up, which I think our new sort of plastic supply chain should be able to support. If we have a look and see, yeah, we've got a decent amount of plastic still here, and we've got a new plastic train probably not far away, I would say. Where is it? I'm sure it's somewhere. Oh, it's right there. So cool. So that's looking pretty good. And we've got, I think, 2 main options to look at. We've either got Bradford-on-Avon and Frinton-on-Sea. I'm thinking Frinton-on-Sea because I would actually like to, once we expand across the river, I actually want to run a train from Frinton through to Newton Aycliffe and beyond. So it would make sense to sort of, while we get this good setup running, we also sort of plan for that future expansion of the network as well. And just considering how this would flow through, so we may as well build the through track as well while we're at it. We've got the cash. And it looks like it can actually get up and join up as well. Potentially. It's doing that weird thing where it'll cross over, but not join. Where do we need goods over here? This side. Okay, that's a nice easy one actually. Potentially. We will need to pull out this road here, but I don't think that's that much of a loss. Oops. Okay, we'll get that in there. And we probably need to think about how our through tracks will run as well, because they're going to have to run through the city pretty much, which is unfortunate. We could sort of pop around, but I don't think that makes sense. I think we'll need to go through. Might just quickly pause this. And this one to configure. Might run this as a separate set of tracks, actually. Just one for the moment. Don't know what that is, but it's not a track. Oh no, we don't want an end bit. Can we get rid of that? Or is that because it's set up like that? Don't like that. Might have to... What if we remove that? And instead do a little whoop. Is this ideal? No. What is that? Oh no, it's permanently stuffed now. Oh god. Alright, that's fine. We may as well tunnel, I guess. If we can. No, it's not going to tunnel. Guess we're not tunneling. And it's going to shoot right through. This is disastrous, to be completely honest. Wonder if we can sneak in an extra pair of tracks here without having to remove any more buildings. The answer is no. But I'm sure they'll come back. Right. I don't know why I'm paused either. Okay, so... it's an interesting one. We're not even going to be using those tracks for a while. So hopefully... that goes alright. Okay, I'm not going to signal that completely at this moment. I'm just going to set up a two-way signal here, just to cover it off. Now, can we run this? I think we should be able to. I think it'll be okay. I think I'm going to use different wagons on this one because I'm not liking the like missing objects that we're seeing on this one here. But we'll see. Perfect. Alright, but besides the container wagons, which I think we'll go with these IWB wagons, will be fairly similar in the setup, I think. So we will be running with, I'm thinking, one of these. And just some IWB wagons. And there we go. Let's get it assigned to the line. And should be able to get some lovely goods created there. And I think that's going to be all we have time for today. So we've been able to start to really set up for that new goods network. Our train network is spaghetti, especially around sort of Keyleigh and even Newton A Cliff as well is getting a bit spaghetti-ish as well. But I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you get a ding to your device the next time I post a video. You can find links to my social media in the description, so please get on there, like, subscribe, follow, join the Discord if you want to join the conversation, and you can also find a link to my Buy Me a Coffee should you wish to provide some financial support to the channel. But until next time, I'm Bob Dendry, this is Transport Fever 2, thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.